What is good, YouTube? Matt DiGi here. In this video, I'm going to be discussing these board rails right here. I got them because my friend Jack Hunt was visiting about 2 months ago in Northern Virginia, and I saw him basically using these rails to a huge advantage, so I just had to pick them up and try them out. So I used to skate with rails about 2-ish years ago, but stopped before I really got used to them or tried any tricks that rails will help you do. And last time I used them, I only skated with one rail on my toe side edge. I'll get more into why I did that later in this video. But before I get into that, I went to the Charlottesville skate park for the first time in a while last weekend and skated / got a few clips with Rico, which you may know from my Catoctin videos. And over there, I basically skated a flat bar for like an hour straight, and I actually did a couple tricks that you will be able to see the rails definitely helped me do, which I probably wouldn't have been able to do nearly as easily without them. How you doing?
Pretty good, man.
Oh yeah? Me and Rico really out here at Charlottesville McIntyre Skate Park. Just sort of met up randomly.
2-hour drive, you know.
Little 2-hour drive.
Super casual, you know.
It's a Saturday.
Totally don't have half a tank of gas in my car.
Yeah, I ain't got no gas, I ain't gonna lie.
When the west outside the bitch, you better be ready. When the west outside the bitch, you better be ready. When the stars align, the bitch, you better be ready. I want to take my time, the bitch, you know I'm ready. I'm winning right now, the bitch, you know I'm ready.
Yeah, am I really got in the way? Yeah. No, I never gotten any like real clips in this. If you could do literally anything in here. Cause you like my specialized bowl skater. I always be using you. Alright, yeah. Deadass. This jump real. It's basically, nah, it is vert.
It is vert, yeah.
How many feet you think this is? Probably 10-ish.
10, 11-ish, I'd say,
Yeah.
It's more than 8.
It's not crazy,
But it's fun.
but it feels crazy. You gonna disaster it. Where you, oh, for real. Messed up the exit. Damn! You don't have to be afraid to put your dreams in action. You're never gonna fit to be the main attraction. You know that show?
Yes.
When it turns out fine. so now I'm pretty much just gonna be talking about all the different things that board rails like change on my skating. So the first thing you'll notice if you're used to not riding with board rails is they slide, like board slide, lip slide, scary fast. Really fast, borderline scary if you're not used to it. If I like give my board to someone, tell them to hit like a down rail or something, and they don't realize how fast they slide, they're gonna slip out for sure. But the more you use them, you definitely get used to it and they start to feel less and less fast. I actually noticed that these pig rails are a little bit shorter and slide more predictably than Santa Cruz rails. So if I was gonna get rails or recommend them to anyone, I'd definitely recommend the pig rails. Another thing they do, which is pretty obvious, is protect this middle graphic and sort of add some aesthetic value. So your deck, you might like the way they look, you might hate the way they look. Like I really think this purple complements this graphic, but if I get another deck, these purple might look terrible. I really do like the way that they look and that they protect this middle graphic. I think a board looks better when it only has tail slide and no slide wear. Another thing that board rails do is they can make transition skating a lot more scary for some tricks because of how fast they slide, but in some ways it can be more fun. So some of them might be a little scary. There's a rock to fakie. You really have to be centered on it or it'll just like sort of slip out. Maybe, I don't think back disasters are affected by my rails, but I have been trying like back lip slides. So basically back disaster the slides. Those are so fun with rails. And I really see a lot of transition skaters do rock the rails, and I'm pretty sure they do that because of pool coping tricks like board slides, like just sliding on concrete is definitely a lot easier. Yeah, transition skating, I'm not a huge transition guy, but I think overall they make it more fun. I noticed that skating these in the streets, I was in DC once and there's a Jersey barrier, like a plastic one that had like little holes on the inside, and those holes created a crack which I would easily be able to slide through without the board rails, but because they make this sharp edge, if I were to try to board slide that, my board would just completely stop. So any like cracks or anything, if you're skating like, especially a Jersey barrier like that with little like divots in the middle, they might get more stuck, and they especially cannot board slide through skate stoppers like some people can do without rails. Doing anything like that is actually like, it's not possible. You can't like push up over it. It's just, if you're board sliding through skate stoppers, don't get rails because you won't be able to do it. Okay, now I'm gonna be talking about the part that makes these rails so fun for me, which is helping with these rail fidget tricks. And I feel like it's pretty obvious how they do that. Just by making this little leverage point, if I'm board sliding on a rail, I can just lean forward and you slide at this angle so that your trucks can like lock in or out of hurricanes or feebles or sugar canes or any of those like weird grinds. You can get into and out of on board slides tremendously easy with rails. I don't really do board slide hurricanes that much though, because since you are sliding on this back rail and pushing forward, I slip out a lot, and I think that they hurt my back knee because of like some weird torsion thing, just because my back knee I've been having trouble with. But yeah, there's a lot of like more options for weird tricks like that you can do because of rails, that you can do without rails but are definitely harder. And another one of these that it helps with is feeble grinds on ledges. So as you can see at Charlottesville, I got this clip of just a back feeble on this ledge. Sliding on a rail like that makes it move so much easier and effortlessly like through the ledge. It's not super easy because you still have this point of contact on a wheel, but it's definitely easier than without them. So doing those weird like feebles on ledges, basically skating like Dan Corrigan, it's much easier with rails. Lastly, earlier I talked in this video about how I would skate with one rail. The reason that I would do that is because since I wasn't used to how fast they were, at the time I was skating a lot of like down rails, and skating with one rail, especially on the toe side and not the heel side, made it so I could backside board slide like down rails while having like some point that creates friction. So it's a little easier to, it feels like you're not skating with rails, but you get the benefit of having a rail for feeble grinds, especially because on backside feeble grinds, your toe side of your board touches it. So I was using it to help with those on ledges and rails. But at that time I wasn't trying those like board slides of feeble grinds. So it might be a little bit harder with one rail, but I might try it again soon because I think on my next setup, I'm not gonna skate rails because I'm way too scared to do front side board slides on down rails. Back side, I don't think is that scared, but front side, I will not touch with these board rails on. It's too much. All right, that's about it for this video. We're doing new videos every week these days, so make sure you subscribe, like it if you like it, and follow the Instagram, do all that. All right, see you guys on the next one. Peace out, mates.